put on your seatbelt. Let's go.
All right, turn up the music.
Welcome to Scream Queens Horror Road Trip Podcast. That is your final girl, Justine, and I'm your sole survivor, Mr. Josh, and welcome to episode 110.
110.
Not 109 or 111.
No, 110.
Oh, I thought you were going to keep the musical number going. Damn, left me hanging there. Yes,
I started it and then left you hanging.
Episode 110, and we are currently on Interstate 40 in Oklahoma, heading to the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tulsa, Oklahoma, to cover for St. Patty's Day.
Leprechaun! We're, heading to the casino.
We're going
to
get
up our pot of gold.
Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth. Or I tried to take them out of yours and you took them back.
Yeah. You were like, let me slide in there.
Yeah, we're going to go make our fortune. Maybe rub a leprechaun's tummy. That's how you get the gold, right? You rub a leprechaun's tummy.
Yes, that's exactly it. As we just saw in the movie Leprechaun, that's what they all did to get their gold.
All that tummy rubbing.
Tummy rubbing. Well, okay, so the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tulsa does have 8 different bars, restaurants, lounges. It's got a big pool, a 20-person hot tub for me, you, and our 18 best friends.
Yes. We love a hot tub. If you listen to any previous episodes, anytime there's a hot tub,
we're having a hot tub
asses
party.
are going to be farting in that hot tub.
I am dropping it like it is hot tub.
Not all those bubbles you see are from the jets, okay?
I want to play a guessing game with you, and it's called Does That Bubble Sting?
Oh my god. Anyways.
Yeah, here we go.
we're starting. Yeah, it's a huge complex, big high rise on the outskirts of Tulsa. We're just going to go, have a good evening and night and morning, and then check out. We're just doing a fun overnight trip. Hopefully might win a little bit. I'm not a good gambler, so I'll probably just stick to the slots. The slots and sluts.
Gross. We're a couple of sluts going slot.
This slut's gonna play the slots.
Oh my god.
Maybe get something in my slot if you know.
You are so fucking gross. Anyways, we are going to gamble just a little bit. Just a little bit.
As Jennifer Aniston would want us to.
Yes, she would want us to give it a try, give it our best slut. I mean...
She's like, oh, geez, yeah. How'd you do that? That's my best Jennifer Aniston impression.
Well, that was a really good Jennifer Aniston. If you hadn't told me that before and just said oh, hey, Justine, it's me, I would be like, oh, Josh,
Jennifer?
are you doing Jennifer Aniston right now? So, pretty great.
Thanks.
Should we go ahead and start?
Yeah, let's get into this Jennifer Aniston 1993 classic.
Yes. It's a movie directed by Mark Jones, if you're nasty.
Starring Warwick Davis as the titular leprechaun.
Yeah,
Titular.
He has tits?
Titular.
Okay. Warwick Davis, Jennifer Aniston, also if you're nasty.
Well, we're nasty. So.
And then Mark Holton. We know him from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
It's Francis.
We love Franny. He's amazing.
I just call him Sis.
Sis. Okay, let us begin. It starts with a wee man counting his coins.
Yeah, he's like going down like castle steps, it seems.
Yeah. Or, into like a dungeonous area. Got like a little spotlight just following this wee man with his green striped socks and buckled shoes. And what's your dad doing in this movie?
Dad!
Oh, man.
Told you to take those buckles off your shoes.
Take those buckles off your shoes. Okay. Buckled little man is counting his coins. And next thing we know, we're in North Dakota.
Yeah.
Like, it
just makes sense.
And we happen upon kind of remote, like a little small town vibes is what I'm picking up on.
We see a man like just downing a bottle of alcohol in a limo.
Mm-hmm. Living his best life, having like a YOLO moment in North Dakota, and just throwing it back. Taking that whiskey bottle and just, I take a whiskey bottle, I take
a whiskey drink, I take a vodka drink, I take a...
But he went a whiskey bottle, not even just a drink.
Johnny boy.
Okay, so
are we gonna Chumbawamba in or not?
No, we're not.
Okay.
We've got other things to do right now. Dan O'Grady, that's who this is celebrating because he's got something to tell his wife when he gets home. And it's that he has won the jackpot.
Yeah, he was supposed to be going and collecting his dead mother's ashes and bringing them back to North Dakota. Instead, he shows up. His wife's like, "What are you doing there, Danny? Why are you tipping this man from a limousine like $20? And he's like, "Well, darling."
Wow, that's like my eyeballs are huge. Right, like I'm just. Wow, what an amazing Irish accent.
I got the luck of the Irish in me. And he's like, "Darling, these aren't my mother's wee ashes in this is coins I found." And he smashes it and she's like, "Oh, hold my green knickers."
Hold my green knickers. My wee green knickers as I walk in. Oh my gosh.
And so she's really confused. She's like, so you didn't get your mom's ashes, instead you came home with a bag full of coins. Okay.
She got bagged. So yeah, he reveals that, plot twist, he's brought home not just the coins.
He's like, "Darling, I'm not going to teabag you. I'm going to gold coin bag you."
You are on a freaking roll right now. I don't even, should you do the rest of this podcast segment in that
my
accent?
Lucky Charms voice? Yeah, sure.
Okay. So he's also brought home the Leprechaun. He's eventually going to. He's not going to give up his coins.
Yeah, because that Leprechaun is pissed now. And the Leprechaun's going to come get his money.
Yeah.
He's going to get his money.
He's like Rihanna saying, "Bitch better have my money."
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Leprechaun better have my money.
And the wife is at the sink and she's like, "Oh, I'm just cleaning me wee dishes here." And she hears a sound like a child kind of coaxing her, singing a lullaby. And she goes all the way, down into the basement to see.
She's like, "Dan O'Grady, did you bring home a little child with you?
Oh,
are you sex trafficking again?"
Yeah, I'm so happy we finally joined the sex trafficking you. Okay, so she is lured down there, and then she sees there's a base, or not lured out. She sees there's a suitcase, and there's.
I like my suitcase.
I like my suitcase. But the sound is coming from the suitcase. Why? Is there a wee child in there? I just want to keep saying "we" because it's an Irish movie.
Irish, they love to wee.
She starts to open it up because whomever is in there is like, "Hurry, I can't breathe in here. Oh no."
Oh, I just came up with a joke. Irish people like to wee, and French people like to wee. But boom! I'm here.
Oh my god!
I'm here all night or all week. I can't even land that joke.
You can't. This is...
Anyways, I've had a lot of coffee. And by a lot, I mean half of a cold brew. But...
That's quite a bit for you. So she is kind of accosted by the leprechaun who wants to know where his coins are. And she runs up the stairs, and then she's scared, and he appears, and she gets scared again and gets pushed down the basement steps and breaks her neck.
Yeah, the whole thing's really unfair because she didn't take the money. She's not hiding it for Dan O'Grady. She's just living there. She didn't approve of any of this.
And Dan kind of like, it's like, what's going on? What the fuck's up with my wife? Like, why is she making all that commotion? And he finds the leprechaun and he goes to attack him. And then he pulls out this 4-leaf clover, and we find out that that's what you can use to ward off a leprechaun is a 4-leaf clover.
I always thought it was like garlic or a silver bullet, but...
Oh, well, garlic is for vampires, and silver bullets are for werewolves. So
Okay.
4-leaf clovers have got to be for leprechauns.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, and Easter eggs for Easter bunnies.
Well, the Easter bunnies love Easter eggs, though. Or maybe is that why they're trying to get
it's
rid of them?
It's an abusive relationship. They keep returning
It's
to their
probably why they're
abuser.
getting rid of them, because it will kill them if they keep them.
The
sort of thing.
Easter bunny,
He's got to
goes-
get rid of the eggs or he will die.
yes.
Okay,
He has
gotcha.
to distribute the eggs, or else.
Or else.
Or else, and then there's just like ...
Yes.
You have to...
You fill in the blanks.
Yeah, it's
people.
a choose your own Easter adventure.
Yeah.
But let's get back to...
Maybe the bunny ends up on the cross
Oh, wow.
and like really brings the Easter story full circle.
So, but, okay, speaking of all these, like, holidays and stuff, why is, like, the leprechaun associated with St. Patrick's Day? What's that got to do with, like, is it in the same vein as, like,
Well,
the
it's 'cause
Easter
they,
bunny associated with Easter? It's got nothing to do with it?
Because the leprechaun is just an Irish figure, a symbol of Ireland. So you put an Irish holiday with an Irish symbol, and ta-da! There you go.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for
Right?
that. I have no idea.
It's called iconography, right?
It is.
So
Okay,
But-
I'm going to do a little bit of research and find out about the leprechaun and St. Patrick's Day.
because God forbid we did it before we started
I
recording.
would never. The audacity.
110 episodes in, and us do research before we go
Hey,
somewhere.
these are the questions that are sparked
Yeah.
by our
We
conversation,
hadn't even
our
thought about
recorded
it.
conversation.
You're
so
right.
you
guys are on the road trip with us. You're
don't
thinking
shame
these.
me, don't blame me.
You're thinking of these same things, and we're just saying we'll look it up, and on the second half we'll talk about it.
So we will. We'll talk about it. Well, okay, so the leprechaun is attacking Dan O'Grady, but Dan O'Grady is not going to let up that he knows where his pot of gold is, or his bag of gold is. And he takes his 4-leaf clover and shoots Leprechaun, and I guess doesn't quite kill him, but enough. He shoots him enough that he gets knocked out, and he's able to put him in this crate, and then put a little 4-leaf clover on top of the crate.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's gonna douse it in gasoline and light the leprechaun on fire, but the leprechaun's mischievous, and he stresses him out enough that he starts to have a stroke, and before he can actually light the crate on fire, he passes out from some kind of illness, which
Yeah, we don't
it looks
know.
like a heart attack or a stroke, but we find out later it's a stroke.
Yeah, and then cut to 10 years later,
Cut to Jennifer Aniston.
thinking she's in New Mexico when she's really in North Dakota, but it looks like California.
Yeah, dumb bitch. What are you even thinking?
Yeah, so she's coming with her daddy, or she's arriving with her daddy.
She's traveling with her daddy, and like her daddy, her father, not like her daddy.
Yeah.
Okay, they arrive at the O'Grady house that her dad JD has purchased, and I'm assuming wants to kind of flip and get some money out of. And she hates it.
She hates it. She's really snobby. She's like, but Dad, I'm going to a hotel. I'm not staying in this nasty house with my redneck. She calls her dad a redneck. And what's weird is he's very handsome.
Yes.
And he doesn't really seem like a redneck.
No, not at all. He seems like a decent dad.
I guess
she's just acting like a valley girl.
Yeah, he's just not good enough for her LA Gear shoes.
Yeah, that's all that is. And so she threatens to stay at a hotel after arriving at the house and seeing just how in shambles and filthy it is. She can't take it, so she walks out the door and she's heading to the car when she bumps into Kevin Bacon's lookalike. And it is...
Yes, Dollar General Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, it is... What's his name?
He seems like a
Nathan,
really nice guy,
yeah.
though.
Nathan. And Nathan is like a handyman that her dad has hired on to paint the house a hideous blue and the shutters red. It's
Yeah.
an
The dad's like, I
setup.
really like primary colors, so I want blue, red, and yellow, and that's it.
And that's all.
But yeah, Nathan owns a company called Three Guys Painting.
Yeah, 3 guys that paint.
3 guys that paint, and he's one of the 3 guys that
Yeah.
paints.
And basically, she turns around and is like, oh, okay, found a reason to stay around here, Dad.
She's like, Dad, no, I'm gonna
Nathan's
stay. I say the dad's hotter than Nathan, but that's just me.
For her,
Yeah, for
she's
her,
like, I'm
she doesn't
want
want
to
to fuck her dad.
Yeah,
so,
she's
yeah,
saying,
no.
I want to stick around.
I get
Never
that.
mind.
I get that.
Changed my mind.
I'm just saying in general.
Okay, well, of course. You've got
There's
zaddy
that
vibes all
song,
the time.
the man that you call daddy ain't your pa.
Oh, man. What? Okay, yeah, we also meet at this time the other guys that paint. Because Nathan is just one of 3 guys that paint. So there's Alex, who doesn't look like he should be able to work, like age appropriate.
He's like 11, maybe.
Yeah.
But he was, I cannot place what else he was in, but he was like the little kid in a lot of stuff in the night.
Yeah, he was in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's
Okay,
Dead.
that checks.
And then we have Ozzy, who is Mark Holton from...
Yeah, Francis.
Yeah, Francis, and also from A League of Their Own.
Yeah, and I guess Francis isn't supposed to be very smart. They never really play
No,
him.
Ozzy.
Oh,
Francis
Ozzy,
is from
sorry.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, who else are you talking about?
It's the same person.
Okay.
Mark Holton is the actor,
Okay,
and
what
he
did I
played
say?
Francis, but his name in this movie is Ozzy.
Yeah, I was just saying Francis. I just call him Francis.
Well, but for the movie Leprechaun, his name is Ozzy, so let's stick with that.
Well, Ozzy / Francis is supposed to be really stupid in this movie, but
Yeah, he's like a simpleton.
Yeah, I mean, he's just kind of silly. Like, he believes in UFOs. He's talking about, like, Bigfoot, like, all kinds of paranormal. But so do we. And we're not simpletons. No. But I feel like they could have played up his dumbery, his mental imposition a little bit more. Because it becomes kind of a plot point. Like, the little boy wants to keep money later because he wants to help fix Ozzy's brain, all this stuff. So I feel like they could have played up like the childlikeness of Ozzy a little more, but it is what it is.
Well, and by no means does this movie like it's not like just a straight horror movie. Actually, it's very much kind of a horror comedy, slapstick, and like Warwick Davis has got a lot of he's funny, he has charisma, for being like the Leprechaun. He's got a lot of jokes and kind of reminiscent of like Freddy Krueger, and that the kills always have kind of a little one-liner.
Yeah, I was gonna say he plays the Leprechaun as if it's Freddy Krueger as a Leprechaun.
Yeah.
And Freddy Krueger from like 4, 5, and 6. Freddy Krueger, like the really silly Freddy.
And by the time that this movie is being made, like 93, they would have had those.
Freddy would have been dead.
Yeah, Freddy would have been way dead. Okay.
He wouldn't have been New Nightmare yet. That would have been the following year.
Ozzy, though, goes into the basement as well. Like, everybody has made their way down into the basement and sees this crate, but it's Ozzy who goes down and is attacked by the leprechaun that's in the crate. He like jumps out and immediately starts asking like, where's my bag of gold? And Ozzy is freaked out. But this is what the plot needs, is for Ozzy, like the one that they always, you know, assume is just like off in fairy tale land. Of course, it's Ozzy who sees the leprechaun first. So when he does go up and warn everybody, it isn't taken like very, you know, to heart.
Yeah, no
He's
one
kind of
believes
chicken
him,
little.
Yeah, no one believes him. They're like, oh, your stories again, Ozzy, Francis.
And they do go down there to like search because
Nathan's a nice guy.
yeah, and they do care about Ozzy, so he was like scared. But when they go down there, they just kind of like brush around looking for things, and then a rat jumps out. So they're like, "Oh, see, Ozzy, it was this." And he's like, "No, a rat and like a leprechaun, two very different things." But anywho, they keep moving on, and Tori is Jennifer Aniston's character's name, and she's like full on decided that she's going to be just like painting with them, you know, like.
And he's impressed with her stroke.
She can really stroke it. And while she's stroking it, getting her red shutters all painted, Ozzy and Alex decide to kind of like venture off. They see there's a rainbow up in the sky, and they want to like try to find the end of the rainbow. At the end of the rainbow takes them to this like rusty old truck, run down, really old, and they find the bag filled with gold.
And you know, they show in this moment, Ozzy's not that stupid. He teaches little Alex about lockjaw. He's like, don't get cut on that rusty car, your jaw will lock. And I'm like, you know what, Ozzy, you are right.
Yeah.
That is what happens.
Be cautious.
Be careful.
And it's at this time, though, where they find the bag of gold that Ozzy wants to check that it's actually gold. And he bites down on this gold coin and then somehow swallows it. And I'm like, well, he would have fully choked.
Yeah,
a gold
big
coin?
ass gold coin.
That would have, like, taken up all of his airway and he would have died.
And Alex is like, good going, Jaws. It's a really funny joke.
It's a really funny joke. And while they are basically finding the gold coins, and we've got our little romantic duo painting, Tori goes over to the painter's truck and is like, I guess getting more paint. I don't know. She's just standing over there by it. And underneath the truck, the leprechaun is like stroking her leg. And she's all like, oh my God, Nathan.
Nathan.
Oh my God, Nathan. Baby. But baby.
Like a little higher.
But then the leprechaun scratches her leg and she's like, oh my God, ow, how dare you? And Nathan comes up from the other side of her. She's like, oh, what? I thought that was you caressing my leg. And he's like, oh, you would have let me do that? And Dad's like...
Well, she's like, they're like, no, it must have been a possum. And she's like, no, I know what it feels like to have a man caress my leg. And Dad's like, oh, you do?
Explain yourself, woman.
Yeah. Daughter.
And they're like, oh, it had to have been an animal. And then they hear a cat like meowing, and the dad goes over to this like brush area where there's like a tree stump, and he puts his hand down, digging around in it, and then pulls it back because it gets a bite. But it's like a human like bite mark. It totally does not look like a cat bit his hand.
No, it's like a huge gash. Like a cat's not going to do that kind of damage. I know, I have 2 of them.
Yeah.
As you heard in last episode.
You've got 2 dim babies. I got 2 dim babies. They wouldn't have bit like that.
No.
But they have to take Dad to the local little hospital to be looked at and to get like, you know, stitches and everything because it's like damaged. The guy is damaged.
But they have to keep him overnight for observation. I
Yeah.
guess. Like, they think maybe he might get rabies or something. I don't know. I don't know why they need to observe his bite overnight.
Well, I've got to observe my bite overnight.
Your overbite?
My overbite overnight. So while they're in town, though, they are like, okay, you guys go to the restaurant. I guess the only restaurant in town was Diner. And Ozzy and Alex take advantage of this moment to take one of the gold coins from that bag and take it to a pawn shop to be looked at, like to examine if it's really gold and all that.
That's right. And the guy's like, I need to keep this overnight for observation. So the gold ends up staying there at the pawn shop overnight because the guy wants to get his little coin book out and do his research over the coin so he can give them a proper sum.
Yeah, really good.
He's a good businessman.
Yeah, he's a good businessman.
But that means now he's going to be a target of the Leprechaun.
And he is.
He is. This dude's going to get pogoed.
Yeah,
Have you ever been pogoed?
He is going to get pogoed. They, something like that's funny about this movie is that the Leprechaun, in order to get around town, he either pedals around in this little tricycle that he found in the barn, or in what he will find at the pawn shop, which is this mini car. But Ozzy and Alex leave. They go to the restaurant to meet up with Nathan and Tori, and at the pawn shop dealer is attacked by the Leprechaun. And I'm sorry, but he bites his leg, and somehow he is so immobilized that he cannot get up off the ground before he is pogo sticked to death.
And he's basically pogo sticked with a pogo that doesn't have the little rubber bottom on it, so it's just straight metal going into his chest. But yeah, no one really fights back. I'm like, this is a little person, a little leprechaun.
Yeah.
Drop kick him.
Yeah.
You can very
back.
clearly outrun him.
Yeah. Measure up for the moment, dude.
Yeah.
You are about to die, and the Leprechaun's pogoing on top of him, going this old he played one, he played pogo on his lung. It's silliness.
Yeah.
And so he dies. We're left with him dying.
He's
and
dead,
I guess
girl.
this was just also to kind of increase the level of gore that was in the movie, because the movie was re-edited. They needed it to be a little bit more gory. So there are definitely moments even further ahead with an eyeball where it's oh, okay, well, obviously they threw that in because they needed a little bit more blood and
They're
guts.
let's earn this R rating.
Yeah.
Get those asses in the seats.
Get them ass molasses. Okay, we've had the pawn shop owner is dead, and now he finds the little electric car that's for kids. It's you plug it in and you can go for an hour. And he drives that back.
Yeah, while Tori and Nathan are enjoying a meatloaf at the diner, Tori's not. She's pissed because there's not a watercress salad and Evian water.
Yeah, that's what everyone has
In
when they go to a
1993.
diner.
Yeah.
Watercress salad.
I know when I go to a Greasy Spoon diner, I just want a watercress salad.
And an Evian.
Yeah.
And while they're having their, not Evian, but meatloaf and potatoes.
Yeah, he tells her, you're too skinny, eat some of this. She's like, no, I would never eat that. That is made from butchered cow. And so he grabs her LA Gear shoe off her foot. He's like, this is made from cut up cow, man.
As well.
And she's like,
bitch.
whatever, but that goes on my feet, not in my tummy.
But can you massage my feet now that you have my foot in your hand?
Just don't smell them, they're really sweaty.
And suck on my toes. And then can I put my toe in your butt?
Will you lick the toe cheese? Or the
Toe cheese?
toe jam, that's what it is.
Gross.
Will you lick the toe jam out between my toes?
Toe cheese?
Toe
Ew.
jam. Toe jam. It's jam.
I don't know.
Jam and
I have
cheese?
that in my head now. I
No,
can see
toe
it in my
No, it's
mind's
dick,
eye.
It's dick cheese
Well, I
and
know
toe
what
jam.
it is, Josh, but now I have dick cheese that has been turned into toad cheese.
It's all relative. It's like unclean, basically.
Yeah, you're right. It is unclean. You are unclean. Clean.
I'm a clean tea.
Clean your cheese. Okay, while they're all at the restaurant, the leprechaun took that little mini car back towards the house, but he is stopped by a local deputy.
Popo!
Because Popo
Popo's
is
out.
and Popo sees. And he's like, aren't you a little young to be out so late? And he's like, actually, the leprechaun's like, I'm 600 and like a bajillion years old.
And the cop's like, okay, ma'am.
Okay. And the leprechaun like attacks him, scratches his face, and instead of running just back to his cop car, which you would think anybody would do, like get the hell out of there as fast as possible, he runs like into the forest, and we have like this strange chase scene where sometimes it's the leprechaun chasing after the deputy, and then it flips around and the deputy's like chasing after him, and it ends with the deputy getting his neck broken.
Yeah, he thinks he got away. That's the sad part. He's sitting there on a tree, bloody face, saying like, thank God, and then here comes the leprechaun from above and like straddles his neck and breaks it. He straddles him.
And now that deputy is dead. So he's got his little police officer out of the way, I guess.
Yeah.
And everybody heads back home. And while they're heading back home, the leprechaun ransacks the house and, like, I guess looking for the gold, goes through all the kitchen and then cleans all of the shoes, like
it's
buckles.
very nice
and,
of him.
yeah, he wants to, like, I guess it's like a shoe polishing thing that leprechauns do, but
Leprechauns are like cobblers. They love shoes. They love making shoes, cleaning them.
and when they get back, all of the characters are like, what the hell's happening here? And then we have like for several minutes this just kind of like play-by-play. Each of the characters gets exposed to the leprechaun. First it's Nathan, who gets attacked outside with a bear trap. It's crazy that there's bear traps, but they do bring it up, and when I was like watching it again, I caught it at the beginning, like towards the beginning of the movie. They talk about bears, so I'm like, okay, this is why the bear traps keep coming up. Like,
are there bears in North Dakota? I guess so. They're close to Canada.
Yeah,
we have some little bears, I think, in Oklahoma.
There's little black bears and stuff. Cause
don't say black.
Well,
Just kidding.
well, there's bears. Okay, yes. Like, anyways, there's the leprechaun like is attacking Nathan at the time that the other characters come out, because they're just like, what's this commotion? And then they all see that it's the leprechaun, because Jennifer Aniston, Tori, she had been kind of like gaslighting Ozzy and being like, there's no leprechaun. No way.
Even after they get attacked and stuff, she's still saying that. I don't know what that was, but it wasn't a leprechaun.
I'm a bitch. It is in green, and it has an Irish accent,
and it has buckles on its shoes.
It's got to be a leprechaun. I mean, it looks like a duck, it walks like a duck, and it's quacking.
Yeah, if it poops like a duck.
It's pooping.
Eats like a duck.
It's a duck.
Flies like a duck.
It's a duck.
Squawks like. I just keep going.
It's a duck.
It's a duck.
And they don't know what to do, because how the attacks are going, they're all just basically getting injured, while the leprechaun is gaining kind of like the leg up on all of them. And Jennifer Aniston, or Tori, she even learns that like there is like a gold coin bag, and they try to give the gold coin bag back to the leprechaun, thinking, okay, well, that'll placate him and he'll just go, right? Like he doesn't need to do anything else. But it's after she gives it back and he doesn't leave them that Ozzy confesses
to having accidentally swallowed a coin.
And they're like, wait, what?
So we gotta wait for you to poop it out in like 5 more hours?
And
we gotta siphon through your shit, Ozzy?
can we just give you a whole bunch of like prune juice?
Yeah.
What can we do?
That'd been my plan. We're like, okay, prune juice in a bucket, like, and then get some rubber gloves, and you're finding that.
Yeah, it's a while Tori, Jennifer Aniston, is putting her hand up Ozzy's ass to just try to like, massage it out. She also goes to the retirement facility, which we learn is where O'Grady had been, and that he had survived his stroke.
Because Ozzy tells him if there's one person that will know how to save us, it would be Dan O'Grady.
Yep.
He used to tell me all kinds of stories about leprechauns before he had his stroke 10 years ago. We're like,
Oh, wow. We
yeah.
got that really explained.
Yeah, we did.
And so she goes, and then she also has her own little chase scene around the retirement home with Leprechaun and O'Grady right before he dies at the retirement home because he falls through like an elevator shaft. He tells her, you've got to find a 4-leaf clover and you've got to put it on him, but not in a sexual way. But maybe in a sexual way, but girl, like consent always.
You've got to put the 4-leaf clover
around
in his tip.
Oh, in it?
His urethra.
Ew. God, that'd be so painful.
Some people are into that.
Okay. Well, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. I'm just saying for myself, it seems like that would be so painful.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't have a penis.
I agree.
But okay. So I just, guys, you didn't need to know
just
that.
So you know, Justine does not have a penis.
Okay. So they go. Jennifer goes back. She's searching. She's trying to find this 4-leaf clover. She's got to believe. She's got to believe with all her heart there's a 4-leaf clover. And it's once she starts singing Cher's Do You Believe in Life After Love, that's when it just appears out of her ass.
Yeah.
A 4-leaf clover.
She's like, I do believe in life after love.
And so it's interesting how this all happened. So it comes out of her butthole, and then Alex just plucks it and takes his slingshot
and wraps it around some gum.
Yes, yeah, because that's his own little,
so it's stinky and sticky now.
Yeah, well, don't yuck his yum.
And he slingshots it into the leprechaun's mouth.
Yeah, and we get this like very famous line from the Leprechaun, fuck you, Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
And the Leprechaun swallows it himself. It gets slingshot right into his mouth. And then he starts melting and he falls down into this well. And then he comes up really quick one more time. And then Nathan douses him and like the well in gasoline. We get like, a callback to the beginning of the movie where it's like, oh, you gotta light him on fire. And they do such a good job that Alicia Keys would have been so proud.
This leprechaun's on fire!
Pyrotechnics, Josh's favorite.
I love fire. Fire.
He is an arson king. No felonies.
Yeah, no, I've never committed arson, but I like it in movies.
And then we have a moment where we hear the leprechaun's voice again, and he's like, I'll be back to seek me gold. And then he's gone. And the movie is over. And this is the only time we see Jennifer Aniston. She does not come back for any of those sequels.
No, she's like, next year I'm going to book a show called Friends, and I'll never need this franchise again.
And she doesn't like to talk about it.
Yeah.
So don't bring it up when you see her next time.
We learned that the hard way.
Yeah. So
just kidding.
If we see her again at the Hard Rock Casino,
yeah, because she's gonna be there tonight.
Yeah, we'll definitely ask her like, how does it feel to like on screen produce a 4-leaf clover out of your butthole?
And you know what? That never happened in the movie. We're so crazy.
Oh my God, girl, we're so crazy.
She searches through a field for it and then gets chased a bunch.
But, like, who wants that when you could have the 4-leaf clover?
Right? Did you like ours better?
I think I liked ours better.
All right, well, we're going to go gamble, eat, drink, have a fun little night of debauchery, and hopefully find our pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It is raining today.
Yes, so we
So
should see a rainbow
that's a good sign.
very soon, and
Don't
hopefully
forget-
not run into any leprechauns.
Oh, and one little thing we got to do. Give a shout out to Ryan C. Showers. Thanks for your Patreon efforts.
You are our Patreon king. We love you so much, Ryan C. Showers. Okay, guys, enjoy a little bit of Bad Athlete, and we will be back
in just a few seconds.
I may be shaking inside. I'm not the kind to run and hide. Come out, I'll take you all on my own. I've got you figured out. Tough luck, you're in my world now. I have no doubt, I have no fear. I'm gonna make you disappear. We are the scream queens running through the night. We are the scream queens gonna put up a fight. Make everything alright.
And we're back. We just had the most fun evening at the Rock Hard Cock
The
Hotel and Casino.
Yes, our overnight at the Rock Hard Cock Hotel and Casino was the time of our lives.
As you can tell, we've been making jokes.
Yeah. Let's just say, merch-wise, not our vibe.
Yeah, everything was like very Ed Hardy looking.
We were in the Rock Hard Cock gift shop thinking, this part isn't made for us.
This isn't for me.
But everything else was made for me.
Yeah, it's a very large facility. Like, it's very expansive, especially the casino floor just goes on and on and on. There's several floors. There's a tower with a restaurant at the top. There's
Yes, at least 19 floors because the restaurant
was
is
on
the
floor 19. Yeah. There were lots of restaurants. Pool and hot tub, which we couldn't get in this morning.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
We will, unfortunately.
But we'll start from
The very beginning.
It's
the very
a
good place to start.
Okay, so we pulled in and pulled out our cocks. Okay, guys,
Yeah.
it's like funny, right?
Yeah, Rock Hard Cock.
Rock Hard Cock Hotel and Casino.
We think it is anyways, obviously. We can't stop saying it. Rock Hard Cock.
Yeah, okay. So we pull into the Hard Rock and we get checked in. Well, yeah, we travel from one end of the other, or to the other,
Yeah.
to realize that we should have entered
On the
on
other side. We literally parked on the complete opposite side of the hotel. But when you first pull in, it says check-in and has arrows going both ways. So
Yeah.
we assumed it was like this middle entrance that we saw. But even that middle entrance was so far away from the check-in that we're just like walking with our bags and our
So it
suitcase
seems it
through
was
the
just-
casino like forever.
Yeah, like it just felt like we were never going to get there. All these signs just kept saying check-in, but
like-
we weren't making it any closer. So it was like mental health check-in. I just
Yeah.
want to get checked into my room.
Please.
But we did get the opportunity, having to traverse from one to the other, that we kind of took in the whole facility,
Yeah,
like floor-wise side, and knew, okay, how we could kind of map it out, what we wanted to accomplish in the evening time. But when we checked in at the front desk, it was so nice.
They gave us free hot cookies.
Warm cookies.
It was a good cookie too. It was a
Mm.
chocolate chip. Had lots of chocolate chips in it. And
I think it was like an Otis Spunkmeyer.
It was just tasty.
It was so damn good. And we opened up. Okay, here's the thing. So we get checked in. They're giving us like our little packet basically with these like cookies and the map of the place and just like how it all works. And they also divulge this little bit of information, which I have never heard rattled off before in my whole life of
Never.
checking into hotels, was no outside alcohol.
And of course we had outside alcohol, so we're like, sure.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well that's fine. No, doesn't bother us none. We get up to our room and proceed to crack open 2 illegal beers.
Yeah,
It was illegal.
Just doing a little pre-drinking before it went down. Had to spend our money on drinking.
It was illegal.
It was illegal. What we did was right, but wrong, I guess.
It was wrong,
But oh so right.
but it felt right.
Yeah.
I did feel a little naughty.
We felt so sneaky.
And then we proceeded to plan out our evening, saw the hot tub. We were
Oh, we were
hanging
so
right
excited.
above it.
And we're like, we're going to do that first thing in the morning.
We're on the 6th floor. We can see if anyone is in it. It can fit 20 people, we heard, because we didn't get to experience this, but we heard it could fit 20 people. But it won't even matter
Yeah.
because we don't even get to get in. Okay, we'll get to that later. We head down to the lobby, and also it's just the game floor. There's slots everywhere.
Slots and sluts.
Sluts
And
are...
lots of music memorabilia everywhere, like, Aerosmith's guitar.
Yeah, I'm seeing Steven Tyler's, like, shirts, pants that he's worn on stage.
I'm seeing Taylor Swift's halter top.
And then he wore Taylor Swift's halter top, which
They let
was
me put it on and parade
amazing.
around. It was really nice.
It was awesome. We went outside and got some really, decent pictures of the iconic guitar, that rock hard cock guitar that's out there, and it's like 65 feet tall, which is really tall, guys.
It's tall. Like, it was taller than me.
So many inches. But that's how tall it is.
A lot of
was
inches of
65.
rock hard cock.
Rock, 65 feet of rock hard.
You know what.
Okay, we get our pictures and we're like, photo session is done. Let's get to having our first drinks on the dance floor.
Which were at Riffs. We
Yes.
went to the Riffs bar, and they had some live music playing. First a DJ was up there, and then by the end of the night, there was a full-on band playing for everybody.
But let's tell them about your funny little finger experience.
Oh, well...
Where Josh got fingered.
Freddie got fingered, Josh got fingered. It was one of those pour from the bottom cups, where they sit it on the machine and
Fills up from
fills
the
up from the
bottom.
bottom. Well, I guess I realized when I hold a cup, I kind of hold it with my pinky finger underneath, almost like I make a little cup holder with my hand. And my little pinky finger hit that little magnet piece, and my beer started pouring out from the bottom. Just quickly, I stopped it very quick, but
He
enough
also
that
made a mess.
enough that I made a mess and I had to clean it up.
And it caused me to have like my first laughing fit of the whole evening.
But I am impressed that my hand works like a cup holder.
Yes, I couldn't get over how you...
And then the rest of the night, I was like, I guess this is just how I hold a cup like this, because that finger was underneath
I kept having
it.
to check them, but then it didn't matter once we got to a different floor, and then the cups became a different type of plastic
That's true.
that didn't matter.
She is telling the truth.
That's what I'm doing. We got some beers. We sat there and chatted for like a good hour. We were people watching. I don't play the sluts enough, so I don't know how those machines work. So Josh and I were trying to strategize what machines we were going to do, because so many of them are themed, and there's Willy Wonka, Frankenstein, Little Shop of Horrors.
Of course, we clocked all the horror themed ones.
Yes, and we walked around trying to find a Leprechaun themed one, and we
found
did.
one.
And
there was one in this whole huge casino. I'm talking probably, not even exaggerating, do you think there's probably 1,000 slot machines in that
way
place?
more than that.
Yeah, there's so many, and we found one that was Leprechaun themed.
Yeah, there was at least 10,000 slot machines there. It's incredible how many of them, in the amount of floors as well.
Yeah.
So the fact that there was just very literally one that we were able to find, and then we had to cruise it for an hour and a half.
We were keeping our eye on it, and the same lady was sitting at it for the longest time. And
I think she clocked us. I think she saw that we wanted that
so
machine.
she stayed longer.
But she brought the money because we found out that it was like a $5 bet machine. And so it only took like one button push, and I was like, oh no, I can't be sitting here doing that. I'm gonna spend all my money that way. So we played it though.
Yeah. First though, we went out before we did any of this and had cocktails and some appetizers.
Yeah,
up
we
on the
went up to
19th
Carver's.
floor. Sat in the bar area because we didn't make a reservation.
It ended up like we didn't really even want to because like kind of hoity-toity food didn't really sound like the vibe, but we wanted to see this like panoramic like pretty view that they had touted when checking in. It was like, look at this panoramic view.
Yeah, there really wasn't much to see. It was like the highway and like fields at night, so not many twinkling lights from the view we got.
Yeah. It wasn't no 49th floor of
We weren't
the
like,
Devon.
oh, look at downtown Tulsa shimmering. No, it was like a view of the highway.
Yeah. But it was pretty enough when it was like
pretty.
sunsetting and we weren't actually out on the balcony, because actually when we got onto the balcony the view was pretty expansive, and so we did see all of like the highway, but when we were inside we could kind of just see more of the forest area, so it was a nice view. But we had some Manhattans and martinis, a meat and cheese board, and a shrimp cocktail up there.
It was only $18, but Justine keeps saying it was
Oh
30.
my God, no. It was 30. I just feel like anything that's over 15 is 30 at this point.
Yeah. So that's become an ongoing joke. Everything's $30.
Yeah.
That was $30.
And that was $30. There was like magnets at the Hardcock Hotel and Casino, little souvenir shop. They were $30. The credit for the pool not being accessible was $30. But it really was.
Yeah, that really was.
Okay, so after we had ourselves some tizzers on the 19th floor, we went back down. We went all the way down.
Downtown.
Way downtown.
Downtown.
And we decided to take out our monies. I had brought in $25 cold hard cash.
Yeah, I decided I was only taking 20 out. I'm not much of a gambler. I'm bad at the slots. I literally sit down, slap the button, and hope for the best. Like, I don't have a strategy. I don't really know how you strategize for that.
Yeah.
For a game
so
of
much
chance
just
like
chance.
that, so...
But we knew we wanted to play certain machines, so we wanted to like hit those up, and we did have a chance to play like the Little Shop of Horrors and Willy Wonka and Frankenstein. I ended up winning. I nearly doubled my money. I won $22.
She did, and then this high roller was like, I'm cashing out.
Yeah, I didn't need like any more. To nearly double what I walked in with was like, okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Let's go have more. Like, we really just people watched a lot, cracked each other up, drank a bunch. A lot of the evening was spent trying to get to that lucky Leprechaun game. So we would like walk the second floor sports bar area, which was where this game was located, and get a beer and kind of like walk around, wait for it to open. She saw us. She knew we wanted her machine. She stayed there for forever, an hour and a half. But that was all fun. We goofed around.
Yes.
We was goofing.
And I lost my money in like 1 minute. I think I tried 2 machines, and then like, it was gone.
We then enjoyed some Irish nachos at the food court.
Which I don't know why they're called. I guess Irish because it was potatoes,
Yes.
not chips.
And then
Okay.
like everything else was just like kind of classic nachos toppings.
Yeah.
They were
was-
incredible.
They were bomb.
They hit the spot, the naughty spot, just how we needed it. And we got like extra fries. So like we could just have extra, because I freaking love fries. So
Me too.
we did that.
They were waffle fries,
Yes,
by
yeah.
the way.
Waffle fries are like an elevated experience. I love how you can get like in the like the little meat sauce was getting deep down into the
Oh, yeah,
pockets of it,
Deep down.
and that nacho cheese. They put the peppers on there. It's just like a perfect little chip almost, you
It
know.
was good. We loved it.
I loved it. I loved it.
Glad we didn't eat steak upstairs because we got nachos,
Irish nachos.
with potatoes.
Mmm.
Jealous?
You might be jealous, but that's okay. And we went upstairs because it was getting pretty late for us old people.
And we knew this is the weekend that's spring forwarding, so we knew we were going to spring forward.
And we had made plans to get into the hot tub this morning.
And the hot tub was supposed to open at 8 a.m., so
We
we
were
get
all
our
ready.
asses in our bathing suits, head down there this morning, and no one is opening it. They come to open it, and then they're radioing. Oh, also, we were woken up early because there were all these, like, trucks that, like, beep, beep, like,
Yes.
sound outside of our hotel room
It
all
was
morning. And
Annoying.
so we were up early, ready to go get in the hot tub, and then they're like, oh, sorry, there's, like, cranes and stuff, which I have no idea why. They weren't even that close to,
Yeah,
to the pool.
There was apparently some equipment that made it unsafe, and it was supposed to start tomorrow, but then they were here today. And so I kind of like pulled a slight Karen and was like, can I speak to your manager? Because
One, you guys woke us up, and then
Yeah.
now the thing we're gonna do when you woke us up early,
is
we can't do.
we're not able to do.
One of your main amenities that drew us to this place. No, we were nice about it. We weren't like
Yeah.
being Karens. We just said like, hey, this is what happened,
We got woke up, and
You
now
should-
what are we to do?
and you should offer us something.
Yeah, that's kind of like basically what I said. And they did. So we got $30 to go to the diner to have breakfast,
And we did. We
and
spent
that's
that
what we
money.
did. Yeah.
I had a egg white frittata
hmm
with veggies. It was like mushrooms and spinach and a little feta on top. It was pretty tasty.
Yeah, I had the avocado toast, my eggs over medium.
And then we split a big ass pancake.
Oh, it was
just
like
one
a
pancake.
huge,
but it
large
was big.
blackjack.
Yeah, it was yummy.
Loved it.
Everything was yummy.
And we had coffee. So
Had
it was
a
like
lot of
all really
coffee.
good. Yeah, all of our meal was just a little bit over like the $30. So that was nice. And our server was really nice to us, and we appreciated her.
Yep. Shout
And-
out whatever your name was.
No, I took a picture of the receipt too, and I didn't write that down in here, but she was very sweet to us. So yeah, now we're just back in the car, heading home.
Back to
to-
life, back to reality. None of us found
Our cats.
Yeah, no, we didn't find the gold at the end of the rainbow, guys. Sorry.
No, but I almost doubled my money, and
Yeah,
so
that's
that
true.
right there was a win. And we also got like our breakfast for free, so that was a
That
win.
was good.
And we had lots of fun. We were
did.
just kind of stupid silly last night, going around, making friends with people at the machines.
But not really. We
But
didn't
not
talk to
really.
anybody.
Well, yeah, we did. With those ladies helped us. And
Oh, at
we
the little
kind
shop
of
of
like, yeah,
horrors.
they kind of. We were
Game.
pretty clueless on.
We
most
just had
of
fun,
things.
like walking around, taking in the vibe, all the flashing lights and
Mhm.
noises and people. And
And there was like live music, so we were just dancing, being all silly,
it was fun.
chit chatting, being just silly gals, talking about Josh's silly gals.
So if you're ever in Tulsa and just want like a fun night at the casino, go to the Rock Hard Cock Casino and Tell.
Yep, you won't regret it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you will,
If you
but
lose all
that's
your
probably
money,
yeah,
but-
that's probably because you wasted your money away. But who can blame you when you're at the Rock Hard Cock Hotel and Casino? Okay, let's get into the movie. Let's get back into it. Leprechaun.
Leprechaun, 1993.
I did do my research, guys. I looked up some Leprechaun lore. There's not really much, but they've been around at least in writing and referenced since the 8th century. So that's something.
That's a long time.
That's like a really long time.
That's like over 1,000 years.
And their name is derived from maybe Old Irish or Old Irish Gaelic. You know, shrug emoji. There
Yeah.
was a lot of back and forth. There was some banter. There was some discourse.
Yeah.
People are unsure,
It may or may not be from Gaelicin.
but it possibly is. Oh my god.
You said Gaelic.
Right, but Oh, okay. All right. So you said that. Okay. I guess, honestly, it's hilarious to me that this is a series, a franchise that's made 8 movies so far. So,
Yeah.
as far as it's 20, last one was in 2018.
I didn't even know they made one in 2018.
Well, you do now.
Yeah, you learn something every day, people.
Every single day.
Today I learned there's a 2018 Leprechaun.
And Warwick Davis was the Leprechaun for most of those movies, at least 6 of them. So he's prolific in this franchise. He carries it on. But is it worthy of such a franchise?
I guess if people like it and keep shelling out their money and there's an audience for it, why not? Might not be our favorite cup of tea. I know I've seen some of the sequels growing up, but I do not remember anything about the sequels. The first one is one I like to watch whenever I can on St. Patrick's Day. There was a time where more back in the cable days where it would always be on Sci-Fi Channel.
And I think it still
something.
is to this day on Sci-Fi. And for St. Patrick's Day, they play, a lot of them. There are also currently many of them are available on Peacock, on the Peacock app. You can strum it if you would like. You could stroke it. You could strum it on the Peacock. And the Leprechaun has been in space.
He's been in the Hood.
He's been in the Hood twice.
Yeah,
Twice. So he travels quite a bit, and he is also an astronaut. So that's all incredible hashtag facts about Leprechaun.
Yeah, there you go. Let's do favorite scenes.
Yeah, okay. I guess I like the opening.
Yeah,
where he kind of is being really playful with the ladies, head down the...
using her voice.
Yeah, throwing them off, and that all back and forth. It's showing us all who the Leprechaun is and what he wants and what his motive's all about, and he's given us some hilarious little one-liners. I don't know, it's hard. It's kind of hard for me. Fave scenes.
Yeah, I mean, the movie's very goofy. There's not a lot of tension at all in this movie. I would say my favorite scene is probably the one scene that has a little bit of tension. It's the bear trap scene where he gets caught, he's kind of stuck, and he's having to fight off Leprechaun while he's stuck in the bear trap.
Yeah.
And he gets help from his friends.
It's where the most is at stake. I guess another one is the chase scene of the deputy.
Yeah.
But
the only
that's a
real
little
chase scene. Well, I guess Jennifer Aniston has that chase scene.
Yeah.
And we forgot to mention the scene where he with his little go-kart knocks over a whole ass truck.
Yes, it's just it's so goofy that we know even in the moment it's not possible that little bitty go-kart of a car, even with a pitchfork on it, is going to be able to lift that truck that has 4 people inside
Yeah, and it's probably 2 times the weight of the little go-kart, if not more.
Yeah. There's just the math isn't mathing on that for me, even in the moment when I'm willing to take in a lot. That there's a leprechaun that's attacking these people, and I'm just also what? The truck's being flipped? That too? Okay.
There's a lot of humor in the movie. There's also a lot of unintentional humor. Some of it is just so bad. But I would say it leans more towards that, so bad it's good. It's fun to watch. I've seen this movie a bunch of times over the years because there's a charm to it.
Yeah.
It feels like a really long R-rated, Are You Afraid of the Dark episode. But I'll say Are You Afraid of the Dark's usually better than Leprechaun. But even the lighting, all the lighting is unmotivated. All of a sudden people are bathed in blue light or green light, and you're where is that supposed to be coming from? None of this lighting makes sense. It looks very staged, or they're on a sound stage. Nothing looks naturalistic, except from the scenes outside. But
it's kind of in the same wheelhouse as Troll.
Yeah, I like Trolls better. Trolls, I think maybe because it's 80s, so it feels more intentional.
God, remember the dad doing his dance scene?
Yeah.
goodness.
Both have their charm and their purpose, I guess. Like, if you just want a silly movie about silly little creatures trying to kill you, then Leprechaun or Troll.
Then there you go.
Pick
Have
your
at
poison,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely there could be worse that's happening, and there are some definite jokes, one-liners, takeaways. Leprechaun, it has its place. It definitely does. Maybe just, I do appreciate that we have something to watch for St. Patrick's Day that's horror themed.
Yeah, I'm
So,
into every holiday having a horror
yeah.
movie and its namesake or for it, you know.
Yes.
Do we have one for Easter? I guess like just that holiday of horror movie has like an Easter
Yeah,
segment,
like I don't know if there's a specific like Easter bunny horror movie.
yeah.
You need to write it.
Oh my gosh, let's
Get
do
on it right now.
I'm doing it.
You're doing it at this moment. As you're
Yeah.
driving the car, you're also like starting to write the movie. It's crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and give Knives ratings, since we are kind of talking about like all the hang-ups on it and even the things that we enjoy about it.
All right, out of 5 knives, I'm going 2.
Okay, me too.
And that's a generous 2. I could have gone
Yeah.
1.5, but like I said, there's something about this movie that's fun to revisit every few years when you just want something light and silly, but kind of gory and goofy and spooky. Pop on Leprechaun around St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, there's no harm in it. You're not like, unless you steal
It's not hurting anybody.
gold coins from a leprechaun, your life's not at stake.
Yeah.
So just be mindful.
Just be cool. Don't be
Just
all uncool.
Don't be uncool about it. Don't take what's not yours. And this, I will say, is a good reminder that we shouldn't steal.
Yeah, don't do it.
You know,
If
nothing
it's-
great came from it at all. He murdered 4 people in the movie. Most of them didn't have much to do about the gold coin, though, which kind of sucked. Like, the old lady died, and that wasn't her fault that her husband stole the gold coins. There's that deputy, and that's not his fault that he pulled over somebody who he thought, you know, things were looking sus. The shop owner, the pawn shop guy,
Yeah.
like, what? He was just doing his job.
Yeah. He didn't steal your gold.
This is terrible. It's just terrible.
All these.
And the O'Grady guy, out of everybody, he's the one that
started
deserved it the most,
Yeah,
so-
he started it.
and he was the last one that died.
Ozzy didn't mean to eat that coin.
No. And I'm so glad that none of our central characters died, because I guess that might be how our sequels get spawned. I don't know, because I cannot recall any of the plots of the other
Yeah,
movies.
like I
So
said, I know I've seen some of them, but it's typically the first that I always see on sci-fi or rewatch throughout, over the years. So
it was a fun excuse to get to go to the, Hard Rock casino
Yeah,
and
it was.
hotel
We wanted
and
to
stayed
do-
in. We've driven by there so many times, so. But
because it's right off I-44, so anytime you're cruising cross country coming back into Oklahoma, you pass right by. It's right off the highway. Like we said, that was our view last night, was the highway. Or the interstate, really.
Well, our upcoming next couple of podcasts, let's tell them about it, Josh.
Yeah, we'll be heading to New York City. So our first episode is going to be Midnight Meat Train, because we are taking the Amtrak to New York City.
Yes.
Our second episode will be Ghostbusters.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah, so April is going to be Midnight Meat Train, and May is Ghostbusters.
Yeah, both are about us traveling to New York. We'll be traveling to the East Coast, stopping in the DC area to get our train.
Yes.
And so we'll probably record both episodes on that long journey to the East Coast, and then we'll spread them out over 2 months. So
Yep.
you'll get our Amtrak experience next month, and then in May it will be our New York City Ghostbusters episode.
And I've never done any kind of long distance like travel on a train before. I know that you have, Josh.
I've done the Amtrak a couple times, but
I think it's
been
going to be
years.
so fun. I'm really looking forward to it. We
But-
got to pack light.
Mhm.
We're going to be in New York City for a couple days, and we've been building up quite the itinerary to keep ourselves busy, and we cannot wait to share our travel experience and talk about the movies. So we're letting you guys know so you can get to watching these in the meantime.
Yeah, and in the meantime, don't forget to rate and review us. Give us that 4-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen. Really helps us out, helps the other people find us.
A 5-star review, I would prefer.
Didn't I say 5?
I thought you said 4.
Well, I mean 5. Whatever the most is, give us that.
Give us that. We want that. And
If not, don't bother.
you know, come join our Patreon. We are also going to be recording our road trip
Yeah, we're gonna see how that goes.
reaction. So yeah, you guys are gonna see us recording and see just how we're, interacting with each other. We're gonna give you what you want, but in order to see that, you're gonna have to hop on over to Patreon and join. There's multiple tiers. You can get our newsletter, vote. You can get a shout out recognition in our podcast and on our blind spot reaction channel on YouTube. And then the highest tier is you can tell us what to do. We will take
Watch whatever movie you want us to watch.
Yeah, and we'll react to it, and then everybody that subscribes to us will be forced to watch it. So in the meantime, take care. We'll see you next month, and love you. Bye.
Bye.